Oh, you said that, okay. You said we should go back to the olden days where men opened car doors and actually bought women flowers.
I mean, if you're going to be a boyfriend, you should buy your girlfriend flowers. Or you should try to make some nice gestures. You should try to make some nice gestures to people.
What should the woman do for the man?
I don't know. Like the same shit? I don't know.
Oh.
The men don't have to do all of it. It's just you don't see dudes bringing a girl a bouquet of flowers anytime recently. I haven't seen that in ever.
Have you guys seen?
I've never gotten flowers.
One of you had a note on this that you also kind of felt the same way. Parisa, it might have been you. Let me check my notes about men. You wish things were more like the olden times.
I don't think that
might have been me.
Might have been you.
Yeah.
You might just be attracting the wrong men in your life.
I think so.
Yeah.
Has your boyfriend ever gotten you flowers in the 1 month that you guys have been dating?
Well, we've been talking since like February, but on my birthday, he picked me some flowers.
Just one?
Yeah, those are the only flowers I've ever gotten.
It's a little better than nothing at all.
At least he picked them.
That's good.
That shows like he's trying.
The effort.
Yeah.
Effort's there.
And flowers are expensive. You know, like if you're gonna get a nice bouquet, it's like at least $100 usually.
Or
but you
like
could get a $10 one at
You could get like a $10
$10 one
bouquet
from
at
Trader
Vons.
Joe's.
There's
That's
some
true.
cheap flowers
I
out
can find
there.
some cheap flowers. I
Yeah,
bought
you
some
can.
cheap flowers.
Picking them is
that look
almost
very
cheap.
nice.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, Sienna, I think you said that modern dating sucks. I wish it was more like it was back then.
Yeah. With no phones.
Yeah, before phones.
Yeah, no social media, no phones.
Okay. How do you think it was?
I think it was more quality time spent together.
Sure.
Yeah.
Before phones, before
Less
social
cheating.
media.
Less cheating.
Okay, I think that would have to be like prior, like sub 2005.
Like flip phones.
I think people started getting flip phones kind of. That's when I think there's the peak, is around maybe early mid 2000s. So yeah, and then ever since social media and cell phones, it's
really plummeted.
Steady, insane decline.
Yeah.
Last thing here with Greta. So, well, actually, going back to men should open car doors, buy women flowers. Is that before or after the 5 threesomes?
Both.
Huh?
You should always do that. Like.
But so you want guys to kind of like be more traditional, right?
Yeah.
But shouldn't women also be more traditional?
I mean, I don't
to
think they
deserve
have to be
that type of behavior?
traditional. I think they should just be like respectful and
what
want to, buy you a bouquet of flowers and want to open your car door for you and do shit like that.
So,
like they don't have to be fully traditional.
So you're kind of talking about chivalry.
Yeah.
So men acting in a chivalrous, gentlemanly manner, doing these kind of gestures, opening the car door, getting flowers, like romantic gestures. Well, so men have changed insofar as they've stopped doing that. What have women either stopped doing or started doing differently?
I don't know. I mean, women kind of do the same thing. Like, I feel like women should also do the same shit as men. Like, they can both be whores before, but like if they're on a date together and they're like trying to do things for one another, the women should also
do what? But it's typically, typically when you think of open car door, that's a one-directional thing. The guy is opening the car door for the woman. It's not like, okay, the guy gets out of the car, opens the car door for the woman, then gets back into the car, and then the woman goes and opens the car door for the guy. It can only be.
It's just like a domino effect. You don't have to do that.
No, but it's not something. There's no reciprocity with opening a car door.
The girl's driving the car, they can open the door for the guy.
Well, wouldn't part of like being a traditional thing, the guy would pick up the girl? Don't you think?
You don't have to.
So it's her
just
car.
more of a respectful thing, not really traditional.
So
it's just like doing respectful, nice things that you want to do for one another.
Wait, so her car, but the guy opens her car door for her?
No,
I feel like it has to be the guy's car.
He should open the car door for the girl. If a girl's driving,
she should open the for the guy?
Yeah.
I don't know about opening the car door for the guy, but I think that like men expect women to stand by their side, show up as like a beautiful, presentable woman, and like the least they can do is open our door. You know?
Yeah, if they want us to put our makeup on, look all cute, be like, "Oh yes, sir, thank you," like.
What?
Okay, open the car door for me.
I feel like ultimately, if you want a gentleman, you have to be a lady.
Exactly. I mean, yeah. No.
No.
Yeah.
What were you actually gonna say?
No, I had to think about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, that's the thing. It's like this expectation for men to be gentlemen and for men to be chivalrous, but in order for men to be chivalrous and a gentleman, like you have to be a lady.
I think everyone should just be respectful.
Respectful,
and, like,
but why? But can't you be respectful without opening a car door or buying flowers?
yeah, but like
you can still be
respectful in a
respectful.
way where like you want to do nice things.
Whose
for
phone
a
is that? Can
person.
somebody silence that? Is that my phone? Someone heard a ding, right? Huh? Nick, is that your phone?
My phone's on silent.
I think it was mine.
Just
again.
can you
But I
D-
turned it off
DND
already.
it? Just DND your phones if you
Yeah.
can. Okay, so repeat what you were saying.
I just think people should be respectful to people and like want to do nice things for them. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You should
Sure.
want to do the above and beyond for the person that you love and want to get them flowers and want to open the car door for them.
Would you said go back to the olden days. Do you think men should pay on the first dates and subsequent dates?
I mean, it'd be nice.
It'd be nice.
You don't have to, but
Okay.
it'd be like, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Cool. That's
Okay.
nice.
Sure. I mean, my whole thinking is though is like, I think guys are not particularly inclined to do those things because they see how, and look, both men and women move this way, but a lot of people are just like casually fucking people, and it's like, okay, I'm not gonna go and open your car door and get you flowers and pay for your meal and do all these romantic things when
Because you've had sex with another person?
no, not necessarily, but if the way you're moving in the dating marketplace, for example, if I was going on a date with a girl and like she fucked a guy like in the afternoon, I would not want to like pay for her date. I wouldn't want to buy her flowers. I wouldn't want to open her car door. I wouldn't want to do any of these romantic gestures because that's just like,
Well, then you shouldn't go on a date with a girl.
But how am I
you're
gonna
mad
know?
that she fucked somebody an hour in the
that's her
afternoon.
wrong.
You just
That's her
shouldn't go on
wrong.
a date with that person.
how would I know though?
Well, how would you know if they did or didn't? You're not going to do it because
Right.
they possibly could have fucked somebody earlier that day, but what if they didn't? You don't know that.
You don't know. There's no way to know.
Exactly.
Well, I think the way you carry yourself can be an indicator.
Not necessarily.
So like you can't, but like if you go around going on dates with women and you're just expecting, oh, they had sex with somebody way before this, that's not okay, because what if they didn't? What if they're a virgin and they've never
Sure.
had sex with anybody, but you're going to be like, I'm not going to open your door. I'm not going to buy you flowers. I'm not going to be like nice and do anything like over and beyond for you because you could have possibly had sex with somebody before. That's just
It's not possibly like it's kind of the reality of dating. I would say look, I'm not saying that every single woman is sleeping around and currently dating 3, 4, 5 guys at the same time, sleeping with 3, 4, 5 guys at the same time. However, I think we can agree that there's a large portion of women and men that are fucking around, and I don't feel particularly inclined to do all these like traditional, like fall into my traditional gender roles while you're fucking somebody else. You can get my traditional gender roles when you're committed to me, when you're exclusive to me. But if you're not exclusive to me, I'm not paying for shit. Until I know I have your commitment, you're not getting any traditional treatment. You have to prove yourself to me. In the same way that men have to prove themselves to women.
Anybody want to like further things with you if you're gonna have that mentality? Like you're not gonna get shit from me unless you're gonna prove that you aren't.
That's how
anybody
women
else.
7operate, and I'm saying that men are allowed to operate in that
Women
same
don't
way.
operate that
That's
way.
exactly
Not all women.
That's exactly how women operate. Women are looking at men to prove themselves to them in a variety of different ways. It could be their physical appearance, it could be their personality, it could be what they're bringing to the table. That's how it is. So I'm saying
I
men
don't
can.
agree.
I'm saying that men are also allowed to have preferences, standards, and boundaries, and not just kowtow to everything.
They don't have to feel like a pressure to buy dinner and do all this shit for a woman. But if every man walks around with the mentality like, oh, I won't do this for this person, I won't do this for this person because they could have fucked somebody earlier today and I have no clue about it, then all like romantic gestures are going to be gone, because that's just going to be the new thing where everyone's like, well, fuck this person. If they don't owe me this and they don't prove it to me, they don't get shit. Then nothing comes out of it.
Well, I do think romantic gestures should be gone, certainly if you're going on a date with a woman and she like is fucking other men while she's dating you.
Well, if she tells you she's fucking other men,
I'd say most women would not be honest about that.
Well, then how are you going to assume that every person is
because
fucking another
I would
person?
say more so, then
women should just fucking assume that all men
they
are
do.
fucking other people.
Yes, women
I
do
don't.
assume that.
Not all women.
Okay, who controls access to sex, men or women?
Both.
Women.
Access to sex?
Yeah, who controls when sex happens, men or women?
It depends who's more dominant.
Has a guy ever made you wait for sex? Like you wanted to fuck and... Have you ever told a guy who you were interested in and he wanted to hook up, and you made him wait for sex?
No.
Okay, you've never made a guy wait for... So you'll just fuck first date. I'm not saying that's wrong. But
No, I won't fuck first date, but like, I mean, I'll make
hold on.
people
So
wait,
the threesomes... Well, hold on. The threesomes that you've had, you waited? Like you went on a first date?
No.
So
I mean, I can.
So you do
but
fuck
I don't
on the first...
every time.
You do fuck on the first date?
I mean,
most threesomes,
most of them, it's kind of like this is what the plan is. So it's not like we're going on a date. It's kind of like we just want to fuck.
Okay, so but you will hook up with someone or
First
a group of people
if that's like what was intended on.
Okay.
Not if like I'm going on a date with a person and I'm just gonna fuck them.
Can you speak closer to the mic?
Sorry.
To the mic. Yeah, no, look, I mean, probably it would be better for, like, if... I guess the reason I'm hesitant to fall into my traditional gender roles is I don't want to feel like a sucker. I don't want to get played, right? So I don't want to be put in a position where I go on a date with a girl, I pay for the meal, I do all these romantic gestures, I get her flowers, et cetera, and then end of the date, 8 p.m., 9 p.m., whatever, and then she goes over to the guy's house who she's fucking, fucks him, who he never had to pay for a date. He never took her out. He's just some hot dude that she likes to fuck. So that to me is in order for guys to hold up their end of the deal when it comes to traditional gender roles and being a gentleman, women also have to move in a way that is deserving. Like, women ought to curate men's desire to be gentlemen.
Yeah.
And that's not going to occur when we know that the way people are moving is pretty fucking scandalous.
But that's illogical, because if you say that women have to signal to men that they are a lady,
yes,
to trigger these gentlemanly behaviors, but then you're saying, but the predisposition is that no one is a lady because I'm not gonna, no matter how you present yourself, no matter what, I'm gonna assume you're not. Then that's a catch-22. So there has to be some give. You have to say that at some point a woman can present herself or
You're
prove
right.
in such a way that she's a lady.
I think the give ought to be on women to acknowledge that the dating marketplace is absolutely fucked up beyond all repair, and that you should give men leeway to not pay on the first date, because you recognize men don't want to feel like suckers and be paying for a girl. Because we had a girl 2 weeks ago come on the show. She set up 50 dates, or her plan was to set up 50 dates with 50 different men in 50 days.
But she didn't expect I watched her, and she didn't expect those men to pay for it. She was very happy to do 50-50.
I don't recall exactly what she said, but there is an expectation on men to pay for first dates, and I'm sure she would prefer if the guy was she was I'd say moderate or conservative, so she'd probably expect the guy to be provider, pay for the first date. So, and just like I told her, I'm like, okay, I'm date number 10 in the past 10 days, and you want me to pay for the first date? I'm gonna feel like a sucker. I don't want to feel like a sucker.
Have you been a sucker before?
Huh?
Have you been one before?
I think I have. I probably have. I don't. There's no way to know because she's not going to tell you after the date. By the way, I'm at Chad's house and I'm fucking him right now.
Or maybe not that exactly, but you go on a date, you think everything's good, and then ghosted, or you know, you just feel like you were taken advantage of. And that's
I've had that. Like
Yeah.
I've paid for a meal and then conversation's fine, just very pleasant, very respectful, and then
Yeah. And your guard goes up after it, right?
yeah, absolutely.
So if you could create a Brian's brave new world of dating, would it would it be that?
Well, I'm an authoritarian dictator in that situation, so you don't want my. But okay, I'll play along.
I'll play along. Men and women go Dutch on the first date, or you do a non-financial activity. The romantic traditional gestures can come into play, but they come into play like over time as you establish her loyalty and ladiness.
Yeah, that sounds amenable.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's just yeah, I don't want to really. Not going to be a traditional guy with.
But you really don't believe that you can perceive a lady before, by the first date. Maybe not instantly.
Well, I mean, there are some women where it's like very clear. Okay, this woman's probably. It's hard, but this woman's probably permissive. And then I just wouldn't go on the first date to begin with. But there are some very unassuming women who you would never think who will play you.
Yeah.
And they could be shy, they could be introverted, they can be quiet, they could be talking to 5 guys at the same time, and you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
What's that fucking song? Gangsters move in silence like lasagna or some shit. I don't know, but
Weezer, baby.
I don't know what I'm talking.
I don't know.